Hi guys, first off a quick apology for not putting out so many videos recently, and also a bit of a croaky voice today, got a bit of a cold. The reason I've been a little bit quiet on videos is because I've been moving house again and I am still mid-house. I'm looking at my wife now and she's laughing at this idea of us moving yet again. But anyway, in about 4 to 6 weeks we will be settled and then things will pick up and there'll be a lot more regular videos. Anyway, this one today is about trimming the P.A.T chart. Now, the reason I want to do this is because I had an email from somebody who talked about, could I send my settings for the P.A.T indicator? Now, I think what the confusion there was that he thought there would be one set of settings for every currency pair. And that's not the case, because obviously there's slight differences in different currency pairs and how they trade, as it were. So what I'm going to do in this video is just show you how I will trim. In this particular case, I'm using a GBP JPY. So I'm going to show you how I would trim for this, and then you'll be able to go to your charts, whatever currency pair you wanted to trim, you'll be able to do the same. Now, first off, I think I've just noticed is here that I've got this on 30-minute, and that's because I was going across, looking at all the tabs on the chart here to find this particular pair. So I'm going to put this down to 15-minute because I'm going to trim it on 15-minute so that you can better see how that responds. Now, before we do that, I'm just going to explain what we're looking at, and I'll put a marker on for you here so you can see that. So when we're trimming and I'm talking about pressure points, I am talking about these white triangles here. When I'm talking about the diamonds here, that's what I'm talking about there. And when I'm talking about blocks of whales or whale blocks, I'm talking about the yellow blocks that we see here. So that are the three things that I'm going to focus on in this video, and how I use them to trim up the actual currency pair that we want to look at. So what we're going to do is we're simply going to go up to the P.A.T indicator. I'm going to have to get rid of my marker first. And we're going to go up to the P.A.T indicator, click on the settings and show the settings window. Now what we want to do is we want to trim it so that we find where it's most effective. So in other words, where the indicators are appearing on the chart, where are they most effective? If suddenly we see a chart and we think, wow, those indicators are really lining up with what's going on the chart, that's when we're getting very close, or if not right on, to where we want to leave our settings. And once we've set them for a particular currency pair, we pretty much shouldn't need to adjust them again. So let's get into that now and have a look. So here we've got, you can see whale sensitivity. I'm not going to go onto marker here because I want to be able to adjust these as I'm going along. So you can see I've got the marker set to 14 here. So what I'm going to do is now, I'm just going to move this around. And what I'm going to, you'll see things happening. You'll see we've got some whale blocks disappear. They're the yellow blocks that I talked about. You see they disappear. So they thin out as I'm dropping this down. So let's take it down to 3 and even more drop out. So what I'm doing is I'm refining the P.A.T indicator to show me where the market makers are taking, the big whales are entering the market, and the effect of that. So it's always a trade-off between how you set this, whether you set it too fine or too much. You're looking for the perfect setting that suits you and your style, if you like, a little bit. But of course, we do want to see where the whales are actually entering and causing the market to move. So I'm going to knock that back up a little bit. And we can see now, just leave it at 6 for a minute, and let's just have a look at the chart. Now I'll go onto a marker, and you can see that look, the whales have entered here, and we can see the effect that this has had. Whales has entered here, and again we see the effect this has had. This one not quite so clear because we do get into a bit of a mess area, but you can see this volatility is caused by the whales actually entering. All good information for us. And then we have another one down here, and then again we see the market move up from here, and then we have another one here, and we push up away from here. Now, people say, okay, do you go long or short when you see these? You possibly could at the right time, but I will get to that. But often what I want to draw to your attention here is, often when the whales enter, you will see that the market goes off, it moves it sort of against the flow, if you like. Now, this is often when you detected manipulation. So, for example, you can see that the market here starts to actually push this up through here. Then we get the pressure point on there, and then we get this large move out of here. So this was clearly the whales were entering here, pushing the market up. Anybody that had gone short through here and had put stops above here, the stops were then cleaned out, and then the market got into its major fall down. Okay, so that's how you trim the whale lines. You're looking for that to appear. And the same process, exactly the same process, occurs on the pressure points and the diamonds. Now, I'm not going to adjust those on here because they're pretty good. I'm quite happy with that. But I want to just briefly cover the diamonds and the pressure points. So what you'll find is that with the pressure points, the market's going along, it comes out of like an accumulation here. You can see this white box here. It comes out of here, starts to have a push up, but pressure is applied by the market. The market doesn't really get into it. It doesn't really buy into the fact that it's going to go long at this point. And you can see at this point that the market's quite flat. You can tell that by the flowing zone, how the red and green dots are. And then it just comes back up again, and then the market makers enter. Now at this point here, because we've got the pressure's applied, as it were, it hasn't broken through that. That is an indication of weakness in the market. If there's indication of weakness in the market makers are going to want to prepare that or take advantage of that for a down move. So then we see as they start to enter down here, the market gets pushed up, bringing in outside money, believing we're looking at this, oh, this market's likely to go up now. Look at these, all these green candles going up here. Yeah, this is likely to go up on this. So we're getting long buyers are starting to come into the market at this point. But of course, what it is, it's manipulation. You've been manipulated into that position by a row of green candles going up. You may have a moving average crossing at that point, things like that. And you're thinking about now is the time you want to think about going along. And of course, what happens is the market then gets back into manipulation, and ultimately then the market comes off. And you can see that we start to develop into this downtrend by the red dots that we're seeing in the P.A.T indicator here, which is the floating zone. That gives us an early sort of warning of when this trend is likely to develop. Now, you're not reading this trend in isolation. You're looking around what's happened around the diamonds and the pressure points. Now, just before we get to the end of this video, one more thing. I said to you about the diamonds. What are they? Now, the diamonds tell us when a pressure point has been breached. So, for example, it's very easy to forget when you're trading. You're looking along, you see this indicator coming near this pressure point. You understand that the market is pushed down through this level. You're looking at this now and you see that, okay, now the market makers, the whales have entered onto this, and you see it push up. But without this, you're likely to have forgotten about this. It's quite easy to forget that. So what P.A.T does is it's watching for when this pressure point here is breached. In other words, this market goes above this point. Now this will sometimes, not every time, but sometimes be a very good indicator of a stop take, because that's where the market was pushed down from. Traders, short traders would have been coming in here. They would have put their stops into here. Market comes up, breaches through that point here, and then the market gets in to its down move. So that's the three indicators that we're looking at in here, the three parts of the P.A.T indicator. You have the pressure points, which we covered, which are the white diamonds, sorry, the white triangles. We have the breach of the pressure points, which is the diamonds, and then we have the whale blocks, which is the yellow blocks that we've seen there now. So basically, that is how you trim up and set each chart that you go through, each currency pair that you want to do, or a stock that you want to do, whichever instrument or currency pair, whatever you're trading, you can set up like this. And then once you've done it, you've got it set up like this, and you can see how everything's reacting. I'll just move over here, just to go over here onto this. And you can see here, following on, how again, if you look down, let me just put another marker on for you. You can see how we've got the whales entering here. The market gets pushed off in the wrong direction. We get a breach marker over here, and then the market goes back in, and then we go green, and you can see then the market goes into accumulation. Whales enter big time here, lots of whale activity, and then the market then pushes on up and gets through. So I hope that video is helpful for you. If you want to have any more videos made on specific points like this, do let me know. You can put it in the comments below, and I will make those for you and get them uploaded to you. Catch up with you very soon. Have a wonderful day.